Well, joining us, as I mentioned this morning, our town manager here in Carabasset Valley, Dave Cota, joins us. Good morning, Dave. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, you know, this is we've got some big things to talk about. The Carabasset Valley Annual Town Meeting is going to take place on March 5th, 8 o'clock at the town office. I'm sure everyone knows where that is, or they certainly should, or maybe this will be their first trip, but either way, with election of town officials, there's going to be 3 running for 2 positions, and election's going to be held in conjunction with the presidential primaries. Polls open at 8 o'clock till 8 p.m., and then it will reconvene March 13th at 6 o'clock at the Sugarloaf Outdoor Center.
Correct.
That.
You took my speech.
I took your whole thunder. Oh no, there's so much more because we got these the potential articles and
Yeah.
Let's jump right into it because there's a lot to talk about here. Let's start right there with Article 29. Tell us about it.
Yeah.
And what we'll be voting.
Yeah. So there are 3-4 articles of importance. I mean, they're all important. This is our annual meeting to vote for all the appropriations for the town to set the course for the coming year. And there are the additional articles, so to speak. There are 3 zoning articles this year. The planning board's done a great job. They spent a lot of time doing this. There's an article in there regarding parking spaces to minimize the amount of square footage there, so that to accommodate development. The big one there's some shoreline zoning ordinance changes, and the bigger zoning change is to allow for contract zoning. Contract zoning is it's been around for a long time. It's been used a lot in southern Maine. Kingfield just recently, a year ago, passed a contract zoning ordinance. It allows a lot more flexibility. If somebody, a developer or a person comes in with a project, it doesn't quite fit all the dimensional requirements, and it's something that is deemed to be a great project for the community, and something that people would want to see, then there's ways to work through that process with the planning board.
Kind of a variance type thing.
It's kind of a variance thing on steroids, basically. But the neat thing about it is that it's a process, and it goes to the planning board, and the planning board reviews it, and then they make recommendations to the Board of Selectmen, and then the Board of Selectmen have then got to approve it, and it goes to voters. It's an interesting process. So the voters really get a say. So it's it's an opportunity for one of those projects that doesn't quite meet all the requirements, but something that the town wants, and it's actually a contract. It's a contract between the developer and the town, and that's why it's called contract zoning. So that's going to be voted upon. So those are the 3. There's 2 other warrant articles. One, to allow Carabasset Valley Academy to build an additional training facility, about 6,000 square feet, that would be located adjacent to the 20,000 square foot anti-gravity center. They deem this as important to enhance their training, position themselves even further in the ski academy world. So it's important to them. They are the second, biggest employer in the town, and very important to the community, obviously.
Well, Dave, would that be something that they would use in addition to the anti-gravity complex in the way that they do now?
Well, they would continue to use. They own half of the anti-gravity center. Maybe I didn't make that clear. Going back to the year 2000, it was built in 2001. A great project. And they would continue to use that. This would be for their exclusive training use. I see. Probably at another level, and so that they, again, can enhance their position and help their athletes, compete. Which, it's an important piece of the town. The other warrant article, we've got extra money in there for $100,000 for additional funding for flood repair. It's growing old. Yeah. We've had 2 floods this year. We are talking with FEMA. We did a lot of repairs after the December 18th flood, but we've still got a lot of repairs to do, particularly on the narrow gauge pathway. And we're looking at, is there a way to make more permanent repairs or solutions? Is the engineering and
Right.
does it logistics there to make that happen?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going through that process now, and this additional money could be used if it's deemed to be feasible to make those kind of more permanent solutions. You know,
Instead of a repair,
Yeah.
somewhat of a solution or
yeah,
a direction that way,
yeah,
right?
yeah, pinning riprap, you know,
Yep.
like MDOT did after Hurricane Irene in 2011 on 27. You know, it's expensive logistically. That's a very narrow trail. Can you get the right kind of equipment up there? What's the cost? And you know, we're going through that evaluation
We've
process.
seen what the results are of high waters, and we've had a few.
Two floods this year. You know, this is the May flood and then the December flood.
Right. Stay with us, Dave. We're going to come back with Dave Cota and talk more. Of course, the annual report is now available, something we worked very hard on, and all taxpayers and people that come up to live the dream here should pick up a copy of theirs. We're going to talk more about that and other things.